Hey guys, thank you for joining me today by the campfire. I'm enjoying a nice fireplace and I wanted to read the sutras with you near the fireplace and let you enjoy the crackling of the fire and how beautiful it is as we absorb the next two sutras from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So, if you haven't seen my previous video in this series, go back to the beginning of a playlist for the sutras that I will make and go ahead and watch the part one so that you can build upon your knowledge. In the last video, I read the first two sutras of book one, and today we're going to move on to the third and fourth sutra from book one. So get comfortable and we will ponder this chapter together. So, our third sutra, it is Tada Drasta Svarupe Vasthanam. Horrible pronunciation, but it means, then the seer, self, abides in its own nature. So, you are that true seer. You are not the body nor the mind. You are the knower or seer. You always see your mind and body acting in front of you. You know that the mind creates thoughts and it distinguishes and desires. The seer knows that, but it is not involved in it. But to understand that eternal, peaceful you, the mind must be quiet, otherwise it seems to distort the truth. If I explain this through an analogy, it will probably be easier to understand. You are the seer who wants to see itself. How? Even in the case of your physical face, if I ask if you have ever seen it, you would have to say no, because it is the face that sees. If so, the face itself is the seer or the subject. What it sees in the mirror is its own image, the scene or the object. If the mirror is corrugated, curved, concave, or convex, you will not be able to see your true face. It will appear to be awful, too big or too high or full of waves. Will you be worried seeing this? No. You will immediately know something is wrong with the mirror. You are seeing a distorted reflection. Only if the mirror is perfectly smooth and clean will it give you the true reflection. Only then you can see your face as it is. In the same way, the seer or true you reflects in the mind, which is your mirror. Normally, you can't see the true self because your mind is colored. If the mind is dirty, you say, I am dirty. If it's all polished and shining, I am beautiful. That means you think you are your reflection in the mind. If the mind has a lot of waves, like the surface of a lake, you will be seeing a distorted reflection. If the water of the mental lake is muddy or colored, you see yourself as muddy or colored. To see the true reflection, see that the water is clean and calm without any ripples. When the mind ceases to create thought forms, or when the chitta is completely free from vrittis, it becomes as clear as a still lake and you see your true self. So, In the previous video, we talked about what citta is and what vritis is. So citta is the mind stuff, and vritis is, let's go back, modifications, right? So citta, mind stuff, mind field, vritti, modifications. Okay, so when we go back, when the mind ceases to create thought forms, or when the citta or mind stuff is completely free from vritis, which is modifications, it becomes as clear as a still lake and you see your true self. Okay? So hearing this analogy, you might turn around and ask me, does that mean the seer misunderstands itself or has forgotten itself? No. The seer can never misunderstand nor forget itself. But we are talking on the level of the reflection. The reflection is distorted, so the seer appears to be distorted. The true you is always the same, but you appear to be distorted or mixed up with the mind. By making the mind clean and pure, you feel you have gone back, or you appear to have gone back to your original state. So, that is the full third sutra, okay? Let's do the fourth one. So, this one is vritti sarupyam itaratra, okay? This one means, at other times, the self appears to assume the forms of the mental modifications. So, you seem to have lost your original identity and have identified with your thoughts and body. Suppose I ask you who you are. If you say, I am a man, you have identified yourself with a masculine body. If you say, I am a professor, you are identifying with the ideas gathered in your brain. If you say, I am a millionaire, you are identifying with your bank account. If a mother with a child, a husband with a wife, I am tall, I am short, I am black or white, shows your identification with the shape and color of the body. But without any identifications, who are you? Have you ever thought about it? When you really understand that, you will see we are all the same. If you detach yourself completely from all the things you have identified yourself with, you realize yourself as the pure I. In that pure I, there is no difference between you and me. This is true not only with human beings, but with everything. You call something a dog because it has a dog's body. The spirit in a dog and a human is the same. The same is true even with inanimate objects. There's the same spirit in a stone or a wall. If I use the term spirit or self, you might hesitate to believe me. But if a physicist says the wall is nothing but energy, you'll believe that. So using the scientist's language, there is nothing but energy everywhere. Even the atom is a form of energy. The same energy appears in different forms to which we also give different names. So the form and name are just different versions of the same energy. And that, according to the yogic scientists such as Patañjali, and even many modern scientists, behind the different forms of energy is one unchanging consciousness or spirit or self. That is why, if we could calm our minds and get to the basis of all these modifications, we would find the unity among everything. That is the real yogic life. That does not mean we are indifferent to the changes and become useless to the world. Instead, with this experience of universal unity, we function better. We will have happy and harmonious lives. Only then can we love our neighbors as our own self. Otherwise, how is it possible? If I identify myself with my body, I will also see another person as a body, and the two bodies cannot be one. They are always different. If I identify myself with my mind, nobody can have a mind exactly like mine. No two individuals have the same body or mind, even twins. Even to the context and extent of the half-inch square thumb, we are not the same. Ask the fingerprint experts. They will tell you no two fingerprints are the same. But behind all these differences in the self, we never differ. That means behind all these ever-changing phenomena is a never-changing one. That one appears to change due to our mental modifications. So by changing your mind, you change everything. If only we could understand this point, we would see that there's nothing wrong outside. It is all in the mind. By correcting our vision, we correct things outside. If we can cure our jaundiced eye, nothing will look yellow. But without correcting the jaundice, however much we scrub the outside things, we're not going to make them white or blue or green. They will always be yellow. That's why yoga is based on self-reformation, self-control, and self-adjustment. When this reformation is accomplished, we will see a new world, a harmonious and happy world. That's why we should always keep ourselves free from these wrong identifications. So, that was the end of our 4th sutra. I think that's good to ponder for now, and I hope that you can take away something new from these 2 sutras, and if you see yourself struggling to accept part of it, go ahead and sit with it. Sit with it for a day, think about it, ponder it, and see if, you can come to see why Patañjali is saying what he's saying. And if you have any thoughts that spur from this conversation, please feel free to leave that in the comments so we can start a discussion. And I hope you enjoyed this Sutras by the Fire episode. I hope that I can do this more often. I thought it was really great. And I will see you on Tuesday for our next sutra video, where we will go over 2 more sutras and eventually read the whole book. So, thanks again. I appreciate you watching. I will see you next time. Bye.